So I don't know if I have a name for this technique, but it's one that you see in Chum Kiu, the second form. So we will do this turn where we come in and we have our hands, our arms chambered, and we'll come up with a kick and then go down into these low double bongs and into these palm strikes. Well, at the end of that, what we do is we bring our feet together in kind of a pronounced way. We plant ourselves. And then the arms go out and come in a jutsao, like that. And then they go out, and the fingers grip and twist and come back. And that's the technique that I wanted to talk about, was that going out, gripping, and coming back. We've already talked about jutsao, and everything kind of leading up to this. But in this particular hand, there were a number of different interpretations of it at the school that I went to. So one was kind of the white crane interpretation. The Sifu at my school believed that white crane was deep in the roots of Wing Chun, and I'm inclined to agree. There's a lot of real similarities, kind of past the similarities that you usually see between different Kung Fu styles that are a little difficult to explain if you don't think of it as kind of one of the main roots of evolution in Wing Chun. But in crane, we have this thing called skin peeling. And skin peeling is a technique that is as nasty and dirty as it sounds. It is painful. It is meant to inflict a lot of injury very quickly, and in ways that are deeply uncomfortable to the person who you are doing it to. Skin peeling would be this technique of sending a hand in and seeking out soft tissue. So you're seeking out things that you can get a grip on underneath the skin of the person that you are fighting. So a muscle, say I can get a good grip on like a bicep or a tricep or some other muscle, or I can feel some piece of sinew or something in there that I can kind of get a hold of beneath the skin. And then I want to grip it, and I want to twist, and I want to draw it back. I'm trying to peel their skin. I'm trying to pull that fascia and that stuff that I have a hold of off of their bones. It's why it's a very deeply uncomfortable feeling. It goes beyond like what you would feel like just getting pinched by a bully in school. This is like stuff that could inflict real damage and sends an alarm bell to the brain that, oh my God, something is going someplace it really shouldn't go. Having had this done to me before in class, this is one of those things that is, people will talk about how like pain by itself isn't necessarily a stopping force. This produces enough pain that I would argue that it's a pretty decent stopping force, but also it inflicts injury. So on top of the fact that it hurts an awful lot, you're also getting in there and you're grabbing stuff that shouldn't be grabbed, and you're pulling stuff that shouldn't be pulled, and you're causing these situations where there's these deep injuries, stuff that can cause like, little hemorrhages and swelling and stuff to become kind of immobile. So it's bad. But that's basically kind of one of the interpretations of this, was that we were sending out kind of a tiger claw palm strike. And I've talked about tiger claws a little bit, where it's a palm strike that stays and seeks. And so we hit with the palms, and then we seek with the fingers, and we grip and we draw back. And that is part of that technique. That's if you're thinking about it from that crane point of view. You could also think about this from kind of a different point of view. One other interpretation of this was coming down in and then launching two palm strikes forward that would then kind of use the fingers to scrape. So if you were using a palm strike to the face and you kind of then turned the hand around the eyes, you could get your fingers into somebody's eyes and be disruptive that way. Or you could, like if you have nails, you could palm strike and then use your nails to cut something. That would be another interpretation, and probably these are just different uses. It's probably kind of up to how it ends up falling in what you're good at in a fight. But that would be another application for that. Another thing that would be maybe another Wing Chun-ish way to look at this would be that you go down and you go forward, and then there's this twist that you could kind of think as being a sort of hewn kind of effect, where you're kind of creating this space on both sides of your hands before you're withdrawing back. And that could be like you send your palms out and you feel them cinched, and then you can twist and pull back and get out of whatever that cinch is. So that may be another way that is used. But that's pretty much the way that is practiced in all of them. Typically, you'll see the hands go forward, and you'll see that twist and usually that grip coming back. And so I think that there's a lot of different layers that you could use here. There's a lot of different ways that you could do this, and a lot of different ways that it could be effective. Like, maybe I don't necessarily want to skin peel that guy. Maybe I do just want to go in and I want to throw that palm strike up and then get my fingers into the guy's eyes and kind of withdraw back while I set up for something else. So that could be a reason that we do it that way. But that's that section of Chum Kiu where we're kind of getting towards the end. Feet planted, 2 jump saws, 2 palm strikes, sending the fingers forward to seek, and then twisting and then bringing back. And we're almost done with the Chum Kiu form with that. And I don't know what that technique is called. There's probably some name for it. To me, it stands out as kind of a set of techniques that go together, but there may be a particular name to that. I'll see if I can figure it out. I'm getting into the point where, like, some of the stuff that I'm looking up is pretty esoteric and pretty high concept. And when I'm looking up these terms, I'm running into the problem of the spelling not being consistent, which makes Google searching very difficult. I'm also running into different lineages having different ideas about things, which is also kind of difficult to deal with. And I'm also running into the fact that, like, some of these things are just they're just not out there in terms of information. So we'll see if I can find it, and probably not, but maybe I will. If not, I'll just title the video like palm strike skin peeling or something like that from Chum Kiu.